The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 335 of a daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the Abandoned Room playing cards. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. So here we have the Abandoned Room playing cards here in a matte black finish tuck box with some gold and green foiling here. It says Abandoned playing cards, and then you got Luxury and Limited Edition. Established London, and then some Roman numerals. And you got a little bit of like flowery leaves there in the corners. On one side, you got these numbers here, and the other side has Strange is the night where black stars rise. You got some more of that foiling. But now back to those numbers here. So if you don't know what the numbers are, we'll get to those in a bit. So on the bottom here, we got a Dynamo. It's logo there, and DynamoMagician.com, designed by Rich Davidson and manufactured by Cardamone. So it has that Cardamone stock and finish. And these are made by Dynamo, the magician, obviously because it says DynamoMagician.com. And on the back, we got a little sneak peek of that back design. And it is slightly textured, like embossed a little bit, so you can feel a little bit of the texture there on the front and back. And then on the top, it says The Abandoned Room. If we open the box up on the tuck flap, just got a little bit more of that kind of like, we've got more of that gold and green foiling there and a little design there. Then on the inner tuck flap, you just got a little gold little design there. Now we take the cards out of the box. And on the inside of the tuck box, it is just matte black. Nothing too crazy or anything going on inside of there. Now that we took a look at the tuck box, time to take a look at those cards. And first we'll start with the back design. So here we have kind of a cream, kind of goldish cream and green colorway. And it is a mirrored back design with that standard white border going around there. And for the design, you got that circle kind of design there. And then you got like a fence gate in the background with some leaves in the corners there with the gargoyle kind of statues there. And you got this little border, like the fancy design going around, and then the white border. So if you flip it over, it's the same design in both directions. But now for the cards you get with the deck. And the first one here is not the Joker, but it's a little bit about the deck. It says The Abandoned Room. The Abandoned Room is a high-end magician speakeasy developed and curated by world-renowned magician Dynamo. It says, and then it says abandonedroom.com and Dynamo logo down there. And now that we know a little bit about the Abandoned Room, we can talk about the tuck box here a little bit more. So we got those numbers here, and those I'm pretty sure are the coordinates to the Abandoned Room there. A little like Easter egg there on the tuck box. So I'm pretty sure that's what those numbers are. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what they are. And that foiling and the gold there is, I think it's a little bit of metallic gold ink there. And then for the first Joker here, you got the red colorway Joker. And then some more gold metallic ink there, which is abandoned playing cards established in London. And you kind of got a little 5 of hearts down there, and you got like a chair there. It's kind of like falling apart there. And then you got a little window and a curtain. Oh, that it makes sense. The abandoned room. We kind of got like an abandoned room for the picture there. Then you got the black Joker here, black colorway Joker, which is Joker in the black color. And then you got the abandoned room kind of little design there in the black and white color with the gold metallic abandoned playing cards little logo there. And you got that custom Ace of Spades here, which has a little bit of more gold foiling within it. There's that custom spade shape. It's a little bit like a leaf kind of pattern, floral pattern. And then you got the little window there for like the abandoned room window, abandoned room playing cards. And then the rest of the cards are slightly custom spade design there. But they're pretty standard, but you can definitely tell they're slightly custom there. And then the Jack, Queen, and King of spades are slightly custom, but not like anything too crazy. They have that like cardamundi kind of touch to it there. They're pretty standard there. They also have that gold, like the light gold metallic ink. And then the hearts are slightly custom as well, but pretty standard at the same time. And you got the Jack, Queen, and King once again. Pretty standard, but slightly different than your average like bicycle deck. And then the clubs are pretty standard. Once again, the Jack, Queen, and King of clubs. Slightly custom. Just a slight change. Design change. And then you got the diamonds, which are pretty standard. And then lastly, the Jack, Queen, and King of diamonds are slightly custom as well. Well, they're still pretty standard, like they look almost identical, just slightly updated. And then you got the blank face for the last card. But now that we took a look at the card, time to test the handling. And this is definitely a different stock and finish than the regular kind of like decks I review, like the United States Playing Company Air Custom Finish. So it could handle a little bit different. It's always nice to test out different stocks and finishes. So first we'll start with the springs. I can definitely tell it's a slightly thicker kind of stock. They definitely have a decent flex to it. You can definitely tell that it's a different kind of feel to the cards. They're not bad springs. They're just not like they're definitely not the greatest springs. You might have to break the cards in, maybe, for them to start feeling nice. Or you just gotta get used to like the type of stock and finish it is. But they're not like terrible springs. They're definitely a little bit stiffer, so it's a little bit harder to spring. So you're gonna have to just break them in. Now onto the fans. As you can see, the cards spread pretty evenly. You can see most of the numbers and pips and numbers. There's no real stickiness or clumsiness to the cards. And the cards are a little bit slippery. We'll take note of that. But the cards spread pretty good. So move on to the Pharaoh. And the reverse Pharaoh wasn't too bad. They interlocked and weaved pretty nicely. There. They did catch a little bit, so I had to slightly push them together, but not too bad. Now for a giant fan of that back design. And now time for the reverse Pharaoh. And the reverse Pharaoh was a little bit not as easy. I definitely have to slightly push them together a little bit more than the regular way. Still not too bad. Now for a giant fan of the faces. And now time for the riffle shuffle or bridge shuffle. Well, definitely no issues with the riffle shuffles or bridge shuffles. Nice and smooth. We'll move on to the packet cuts. Well, I say it has decent packet cut ability. There's nothing like too crazy about it. They're definitely a little bit slippery. Not like overly slippery or anything. But I did notice like they're a little slippery because one of the cards did slide out of my hands a little bit. Other than that, pretty like average packet cutability, I guess. Nothing too crazy. Now time for that one-handed cut, or surely a cut. Now time for the dribble. Well, the dribbles aren't too bad there. You got some pretty, still pretty nice and smooth dribbles. Nothing too crazy. And they feel good either way. They look like it doesn't really feel like there's one that's more slippery than the other. They're pretty even on both ways. But now for time for that spread fan. And lastly, spread the cards on the table. Well, like I say, it's not a bad deck of cards. Definitely nothing like too crazy going on. You got that nice back design. Eh? It's a decent design. Definitely not one of my favorite designs ever, but not too bad. I like the colors though. I like the green was that kind of like off-white, kind of creamish gold color. Not too bad there. So a decent back design. And then for the faces, they're pretty standard. They're slightly like variation customized because they're made by Cardamundi. So they're slightly different because like the core cards look pretty standard, but you can definitely tell they're lightly different. And you like your bicycle kind of design there. They're slightly different there, but overall still pretty standard. And then for the handling, they handle pretty good. It's definitely like if you're not used to the Cardamundi stock, then it would feel a little bit different. But like I kind of handle a lot of cards, so I test out different stocks and finishes all the time. Well, it's not too bad. Like they're definitely nice and smooth because the cards are really like slick. So you gotta like kind of hold on to them without dropping them. But they still handle pretty good. Definitely not like 100%. Like they're definitely not your like air cushion finished bicycle cards or anything there if you're used to those. But they're not too bad. They definitely have a little bit of stiffness to them. So you're gonna have to break them in. So you can try to get rid of that stiffness so they're not super stiff. But overall, a decent design and pretty good handling. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. This has been day 335 of your daily deck review. This has been the Abandoned playing cards, or the Abandoned Room playing cards from Dynamo, designed by Rick Davidson. And I'm the Canadian Card Collector, signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.